So the first column where it says FTE and cost, that's really a breakdown of everything that was listed out for the budget forms. It's both columns, the reconstruction and the improved quality on that original budget. It's what the administrative council was looking for. For example, reading. They were looking for 3 at the elementary, 1 for each school, and 1 secondary reading teacher. 9 to address class sizes at all 3 levels. 1 at the elementary, 3 at the middle, and 5 at the high school. Fine arts, 3.5 positions. PE, health. 1 new health teacher at the, in grade 8, middle school. Technology, library, media. Restore the middle school library. Restore the lost library paraprofessional in the elementary. So that first column includes everything that the administrative council feels is needed to return the school district to that. And you can see the cost of that is at the bottom. And it should be consistent with the information that we passed out, and you have it over here. It's that spreadsheet. The middle column is, I recognize it would be impossible, or let's say highly unlikely, to achieve an override, because all of this requires an override. Everything. Anything about the status quo requires an override.
No, even the status quo.
Status quo.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm forgetting the fact that we've just eliminated 488,000.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming we.
We'll
Transfer
find
from
the
reserves.
we'll find the money to have it. You're assuming we'll find the money to at least have a status quo budget.
Yes, I know.
So what this spreadsheet is everything over
Correct.
the status quo.
That's right.
Put all those other bad things you just talked about over there.
Right.
Okay.
So, and again, I've not gotten an endorsement from the administrative council. This is strictly superintendent's recommendation. So you understand that, okay? Even Carl has no input on this. So I'm trying to look at if I thought that there was any hope for an override, what would I recommend? How would I put those dots up and spend the money? I would hire a reading. I'd start on this reading literacy, which I think is a top priority. I would bring in 4 teachers, and I'd focus all on the high school. Or to address class size. In the fine arts, I would restore those positions. I think that's a terrific, tremendous negative loss to our district. And this would go toward time and learning. I would also focus on the physical education income. And I would take that step of establishing a middle school health program. That I would see that as replacing the culture program that was lost. I would replace the middle school librarian, and I would restore, add back, reconstruct the middle school library. I would add back an elementary library paraprofessional and half of an integrated technology position. You can see the 2 inclusion positions down there under special education. Again, you should put a notation on that based on my previous comments that I would probably look internally as a way of hopefully being able to establish a program and pay for it with a little money left over. I don't think I could do that. We could do it for both inclusion positions and the ELL. I think at least one of the inclusion, setting up a program internally would save on tuitions, and that savings would take care of one of the inclusion positions, and probably also pay the difference between what we're spending some now on tutoring the ELL, English as a language. So that's in the budget, but we're out of compliance because it's not a certified teacher. So I'd make up the gap with that number. And that's what I would recommend.
So you're recommending, is that 855 or 65?
It's 854.
854, that would be on top of the status quo budget.
Correct.
Would that restore Wednesdays?
I believe that it would get us back to 5 days a week. Not sure without some changes in the schedule of whether it would completely eliminate, I don't think it would eliminate all the study halls. It would
Probably not,
reduce
right.
that, but it would reduce a portion of them. I haven't sat down with Mr. Hodges to go through this.
Certainly most, if not all.
Right, what do you think?
Most, there were some before, weren't
Right,
there?
very few.
Yeah, and those would not be.
Right, so that goes with mine too.
One item, David, that didn't hit the list I was hoping for was the curriculum chairs.
Not here.
I guess I've got two questions, David. Reading literacy. One position hardly seems enough to scratch the surface. And yet, how would you use that one?
Well, as I said, I haven't sat down with the principals on this, and most likely it would be focused on the assessment piece and having that individual work directly with teachers in all three elementary schools. And the more challenging reading cases, particularly at the primary level.
So there wouldn't be any relief here at the secondary levels.
No.
Actually, I'll leave it at that.
I tried to keep it under $1 million.
I was gonna say.
Well, we'd have to add 400,000.
We may have to add 400,000.
Well, yes, I understand.
Right.
But, yeah, and.
That's appreciated because, there is a tendency when you move for an override to get everything that you want because next year you might not get anything. And certainly it's with the understanding that next year these new positions are now on the payroll and moving up that scale that's killing us. I agreed with every one of them. I had just the additional department chairs on my list. I could support that.
The thing I'm most worried about is the reading literacy. I might be trying to push for another one.
I'm also concerned there too because of the leveling off of our MCAS scores in the reading area at the elementary school level. I think I would push for 2 there also.
There is a question in my mind about the class size level in middle school if there are not any teachers there.
Okay. I think David has an idea of addressing that
Through schedule.
through scheduling.
With the new principal, that would be a time for change.
Would we class sizes and the core subjects?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to do with cutting collaboration time though, correct?
Reducing.
Reducing collaboration time. So it's not ideal, obviously.
But, yeah. Okay, understood.
I guess as a concept, I can support this 854,000 plus, although as I said, Mrs. Vaca would like to see the department chairs added back in. I think Steve and I have mentioned adding another reading teacher. I too think the longer you go without department chairs, the bigger issues you have when you finally get around to restoring those positions, because you really have no people who have the time to manage the English department, the math department.
But with the 400,000 still in question, I
Right.
think it's a good idea to try and use this as a springboard.
Trey, are there any areas you?
The only other thing, and again, it's a lecture we probably can't afford, would be the world languages in the middle school.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not.
If we look at this as a 1.2 something million dollar, so it's about 4.5% overnight. And we'd be asking people to step up their taxes 4.5% for this. Obviously, I'm going to do that. I think it's a responsible budget.
I think
I
it's
do too.
responsible is a good word. It's not the improved quality. But
I
that's
don't
what
think
it says.
we should call that.
No.
No.
No, it's just
Responsible.
restoring, and the only thing that isn't a simple restoration is the reading literacy teacher that is so desperately
Well,
needed.
adding middle school health, which is two things.
Well, no,
we should-
that's a replacement
Right.
for the integrators.
Right.
It's not, it really is a restoration.
Well, as I was saying at one of the budget forums, these are things we should have been doing 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. So when you talk about improving quality, maybe it's improving quality from 2001, but it's certainly not
I
improving quality.
recommend we refer to this as the SPR and B budget.
And
What would
that's
that
right,
be?
the springboard or something.
Superintendent's Reconstruction.
Yes,
budget.
that's right, because.
Oh.
That way.
Springboard,
Oh,
budget.
catchy.
Springboard.
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 Yeah, for the SPR and B budget.
I wrote that down.
Right, that's it.
Trying to,
Uh,
that's kind of, you know, hopefully people remember how responsible we were with the last override funds and how we made them last, we improved the quality, we met the enrollment increases at the time, and that, you know, contrary to some people's beliefs that might write letters, we do a good job.
That's the one caveat I would throw in there. We're not even discussing enrollment increases for next year. So, you know, if we get another 35 to 40 students that we didn't expect as we did this year, then that could be an issue. Or if only 10% of the 8th graders go to private schools instead of 18%, then we'll have another 15 to 20 kids in our freshman class.
We use 12.5 for planning,
Right.
12.
The numbers are moving, you know,
Percent.
we built elementary schools, we built the staffing, now they're moving through. And one of these budgets, we're talking about adding 5 high school teachers because those numbers have moved through the system.
Right, definitely
But in the
should.
other one, we're talking about cutting them.
Yeah, it's cutting 7.
At the high school.
Or 6, yeah.
And that's where the enrollment has gone, and it's the responsible thing to meet those kids. I could do it.
Any other comments? So I think you
Yeah,
have.
I
a-
mean, excuse me, on the, for example, on the fine arts, this would bring back some programs in chorus and band at the middle school. I'm not sure, I mean, we may have to rethink how we structure the day at the elementary level. So for example, this is not a plan yet, but one idea might be to fund in the budget adequate staffing for chorus, to run a chorus, but that's done either before school or after school, so that in each school.
Well, that's a different issue. I don't know what I'd
Right.
be looking for would be to make sure that we had the two
Right.
periods, so we have the two periods of phys ed and one
Right.
period of art every week.
Right.